Hi, my name is Paul Gibson, and I'm a member of St. Paul's Lutheran Church, which is an RIC congregation in Clearwater, Florida. I wasn't just a cradle Lutheran, I was conceived Lutheran. My dad was a Lutheran pastor, my mom is the daughter of a Lutheran pastor, and comes from a long line of Lutheran pastors back to the beginnings of this country. I was in a pew from the earliest age possible, sitting between my sisters while my dad was in the pulpit and my mom was in the choir loft, and I have just always loved being a part of the Lutheran Church. Went to church every Sunday because I was eager to go. I loved church and church loved me. Church was a safe place for me when I was a very lonely, unhappy child. Church was my favorite place to be. But I suppose that changed when I reached puberty and started learning a few things about myself and learned that I was gay and started to fear that I could lose my church's love if my church found out. So I never gave my church a chance to exclude me as a gay man because I just kept silent and tried to be as invisible as possible in church. And unfortunately that spread out into other areas of my life, and I grew up to be an adult who prided himself on being invisible, not ever making a fuss, not ever drawing attention to himself, very unassertive, very unhappy, very lonely. And I think that would have changed, that would have lasted for my whole life if I hadn't found a different kind of church during the years I lived in Berlin, Germany. I just stumbled on this amazing congregation of people, a mix of old and young, a mix of all nationalities and races, a mix of gay and straight, families with children, military veterans, all in the same congregation. And what held them together was the pastor, who was an openly gay man. And he just preached every Sunday from his own experiences, his own vulnerability, his own woundedness, and that just drew everyone to him. Every kind of person imaginable knew that they could learn from that man and could talk to that man and listen to that man and be fed by that man. And it was the most amazing experience of my life to be a part of that congregation, which was centered around an openly gay pastor. So it was with a great deal of heartbreak, really, that I experienced the events of Churchwide Assembly 2005, because that was when I learned that my Lutheran church didn't want pastors like that. And I realized that if I was going to change the Lutheran church, I needed to get more involved in it and start speaking out and be a more open and aggressive and assertive person, speaking about the values that I think the Lutheran church needs to have. I think the Lutheran church needs to have pastors like that man, and then it will have thriving, vibrant congregations that have the power to change the world. And I hope we all work together to do that.